Welcome to Spiritual Clearings, where we clear and transmute the energies of the collective across time, space, and dimensions. Using the Akashic Records, we access imprints from the past, present, future, past lives, and parallel realities to bring truth, clarity, and soul-level healing into the now. Let's align with the highest frequency available today, shall we? Aloha! What's up, everybody? For those of you that are in the wonderful house of the United States, happy Independence Day. May the 4th be with you. So today is all about freedom, of course, and guess what? Repeat after me. I am free, I am free, I am free, and you are free, you are free, you're free. Just go up to someone and say, you are free, I am free. That's it. End of story. So here we go with the music for today. I'm going to go with George Michael, Freedom, because here in Spiritual Clearing Friday, we're going to really address the collective consciousness that's here for us to tap into, to clear the shit out of it so we can anchor in more light, because we're all feeling it. We're all in this space. We're all feeling the upgrades, the shifts, the intuition hits. We're here. And the more that we can navigate this realm, the better, because now we can begin to activate our own light and then start to add in our dopeness into the world. All right. So let's do that. Thank you for being here with me today. If you've never been here, I'm going to use my pendulum and my Akashic Records and go into the charts to see what is affecting us around this energy of freedom. Hi, Pooja. Thank you so much for jumping on today. So I'm going to get set up here. And as I do, let's listen to the song by George Michael. Freedom, freedom. How many of you would like to be free, 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 free? We're here. The thing is we're caught in a little bit of a mind trap, a little bit of systems of control, things that have been here for a really, really long time that now we're starting to see with our open eyes. Hi, Maeve. Hi, Christine. Thank you so much for being here. We're in a place right now where we have the opportunity to remain asleep and plugged into the matrix, so to speak, or we're here to see above it, navigate it in a way that actually brings in more love, more light, more abundance in ways that we have never seen before. And it can only be pictured in our mind's eye, because really in our mind keeps creating the same shit over and over and over again, which then we think we're going to get different results, and that hasn't happened yet. And so we're caught. That's why we're hitting the edges of the maze, and we think we are not free. And this is where we're trapped. And not that this is a bad thing at all. It learned how to navigate this place. We got really smart. We tested, we had trials, we had errors. We began to see I'm not going that way. I got electrocuted over there. I got hurt over there. I got betrayed over here. And here we are continuing to build evidence for the things that we don't wish to see, because we keep it at the forefront of our mind, right? I've asked my students time and time again, what are the things that you'd like to create? And sometimes in the beginning, especially at the beginning, it's there's a blank. They are so busy attempting to fix the so-called broken parts of themselves that they don't have that free energetic space to put towards what they prefer, right? So the whole school is really about remembering who you are and activating the gifts inside of you to actually begin to show up and share and put you on a trajectory that is not a part of the matrix, but a part of something beyond that, part of your own design, your own blueprint. And as you move in that direction, what happens? You come across the things that then are these systems in place that kind of lock you in the door for a little bit until you figure it out. And we realize, when we start to see the systems and what beliefs have lingered there, then we really are free. And it's fascinating because I'm watching right now this beautiful movie called Up in the Air. I had to utilize it for my assignment last week for my marriage and family therapy. Up in the Air with George Clooney. And it shows left and right the gendered roles, along with the patriarchy, along with the family systems, along with this good, bad, right and wrong, the polarity that we've been talking about for a really long time. Hi, Alex. Thanks so much for being here. And as I'm tuning into this movie, I'm like, oh my God, like everyone is acting from these places and then pushing their agenda on that aspect, which then maybe for that person is not where they need to be. And they've been punished for so long for being that. You know, George Clooney was punished for a long time for being the so-called masculine ideal of detached, free, traveling adventure without a care. And then once he started getting intimate and emotionally connected at the urgings of his coworker, he thought he was missing something, and yet he wasn't. And then eventually it was just this whole big dramatic scene where all these ideas are put onto us. And so are we ever really free? Are we ever really free from the constructs and the ideas of these social, gender, cultural parts of us that have been operating through each and every one of us? We can be, and we can honor it. That's the cool thing about where we are right now, is all of these cultures grew up in their wonderful world and learned different things in that generation, in that time, and through their ancestors and through that environment and through that land, which then gave them all these skills to do what they needed to do and then the way they needed to do it in those times. And then someone from a different place comes together with that person and they look the same. You know, they start talking the same things because maybe they're in the same generation, but ultimately with the different cultures, all of a sudden you're going to see some differences, right? And in those differences, you're going to start to understand that, hey, there's not a right or wrong there. That's just an interesting way that you've done things. Like, I've never thought of things that way. How interesting. Oh, well, so you didn't think that way at all? No. What do you mean by that? Oh, let me explain to you. Oh my gosh. When we actually can start connecting and letting down the ego, letting go of the judgments and open our heart to just receive another's energy. Wow. What amazing feats people have accomplished in their lives. What amazing things they've done. That is freedom, because then we are activated by that. We learn from them. And then the things that they've shared that, ooh, that wasn't so true for me. Ooh, that's okay. You had that experience. I don't need that experience. That's not even anything that is going to be in my purview. But thank you for revealing to me that that kind of thing exists. Wow. Right? And so now we're in this place of sharing and growth and learning, and all of a sudden we're not as fucked up with each other because we start liking each other. We start going, hey, that's my friend. They have a difference, but you know what? That's their deal. That's their experience, their story. They're the center of their own creation. That's freedom, right? I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to want you to tell me what to do unless I ask for the advice, right? That's the beautiful thing right now, is we can ask for the information of others, or we can just listen through story. Like, how wonderful. But when we start like putting it down someone's throat, what happens? I'm going to throw it back up because it doesn't fit there. So let's not do that. We're in this wonderful world of consent, right? Like, truly, we are each of our own sovereign beings, and how we be with one another is totally fine. And some things we need to hear because maybe we're like local in the head and someone has our back, right? But ultimately, we want to be in a place where we begin to like really tune into our truth, our sovereign truth, because you're going to have the experience of it. And you'll know in that moment, in that time, whether you want to do that or not. And if you do, there's consequences to that. And the consequences are, everything has a consequence. Nothing is immune from having a consequence, which means that there is something that's going to happen after you make that choice. Whether it hurts people, maybe. We got to make restoration in that. Whether it damages property, whether it does things that maybe we don't wish to do, we kind of have a moment to think about that. Is that most beneficial? Is that most in our most highest good of all involved in the scenario, in this time? Am I willing to make that change? Am I willing to have the commitment to seeing more, having myself be more free, right? Because when you choose something that is more of a true choice, then it begins to create everything brand new. And I want you to do this. Like, you are experiencing things right now. And as you're experiencing it with your awareness and your consciousness, you're like, boom, behold, I make all things new. Okay. So when you say that, type it in the chat. Behold, I make all things new. With your presence, with your light, with the activation, you're beginning to make everything in your purview new. And that's why everything is shifting and changing so much right now, because all of you are becoming so awake and so aware. And you're like, I see the lay of the land. I see all that's happening here. And I'm making a choice towards what I prefer. And when you do that, magic takes place. And it's beautiful and it's fabulous. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Shandon. Thank you so much for joining me. It's powerful when we get to this place, because now we are truly free. We see we are the creators of that choice moment. In that moment, yes, we can have dreams. Yes, we can have goals. You know, there are things that take time that we wish to accomplish, and we're going to move in that direction. However, when we're attached to the outcome, attached to an expectation of what is, then we're missing the whole point. You're now tethered to this idea that may or may not be the most highest and best for you, right? And so if anything different happens from that, we get stuck. We get angry, we get sad, we get upset, and we like pout and we throw a tantrum because it wasn't the way it's supposed to be. And maybe, well, you really wanted that experience and here it is. And, you know, it just wasn't in the cards for you to have that winning moment in that time, because maybe it was actually bigger than a win. It was something that cleared the energy field for millions of people who have been experiencing that sadness, that fear, that anger in that moment, in that time, with those kinds of things, that then dissolves it. Like, that's how powerful you are, especially when you are the conscious ones. You know, there are many people in different stages of awakening. And as we all come together, we begin to see like everyone has a piece of the puzzle. No one has it more or less. Literally, that's why we're like seriously equal. It's really awesome. And when you see that way, there's nothing to gain. There's nothing to lose. There's only like values to share and exchange, and up level all of us as a whole. And so it's pretty amazing when that happens. And then that makes the whole environment, the community free, not just you now, right? I've played this game called the Cash Flow Game. Anyone play it before? Put me in the comments if you had. Yes, Alex, behold, I make all things new. Yes. So in the cash flow game, when people are playing, you know, you're trying to get out of the rat race, right? And literally what happens at the end, moral of the story, and I'll tell you, you know, if you've never played, the whole game is about win-win. How are the ways that you can win? By winning and then helping other people win. Like, oh my God, what a concept. You know, if we begin to do that in our world, like we win, they're winning. Like, I've been seeing it more and more, and every day of my life through my friends, my family. It's like, hey, this is something that I'm doing. Would you be interested? They're winning. Let me show you how. They're winning. Everyone's winning. Like, I prefer to have that kind of wonderful world, because now we don't stay stuck in the rat race or in the freaking maze and the mind control. We freaking up level and we create more fantastic things that no longer are of this kind of thing. Like, this material can be gathered together to make something completely brand new, which actually then is serving the planet, right? Because then we're not utilizing things that pollute our planet. We're coming with innovative ways to enjoy our life and not produce so much shit, and come to a place where then we're in reverence for the land and the materials at play. I'm really stoked about this because we have a course called Embodiment coming up right now, and we're working through the 9 dimensions of reality. And as we see that, we're honoring each of those realities. That's what we're here for. We're Earth stewards. Like, Earth is our home, and we're bringing in all this magical light. It's like one of my students said, oh, it's like we're the Care Bears and we're each having the Care Bear stare. You know, and we all have the magical gifts to add to this experience. And so in school, the wonderful students that are there, that are coaches, that are healers, that are like advanced seekers. They're just in this place right now, recognizing we are the placeholders, the light bearers, the ones that bring in this energy to the world by anchoring it in, right? Anchoring it into the earth and being the earth's steward, taking care of all the sentient beings, taking care of ourselves and each other throughout this journey. This is like our spaceship, you know what I mean? It's pretty freaking cool. And so we've just forgot, and then we friggin' demolish each other and try to bomb one another because somebody had a difference outside of the system that didn't match what you thought should be. So, duh, I mean, gosh, history people, why didn't we figure that out a long time ago? Goodness. So let's go into the records and check to see what we need to clear around freedom, because there's a lot going on here. And I love that there's some planetary changes right now, because we're really being activated on so many levels, where these dormant DNAs are waking up. We're waking up to our light codes. We're waking up to remember who we are. And now we have new information to lay down the land, right? And there are not rules or regulations. They're just activations. We're giving activations that then bring people to a higher frequency, which is more light, more love, more peace, more bliss, more pleasure, which I prefer, and enjoying what we call earth. Yes, we do got to bring energy back from the past. That's why restoration is real. And that's what the phase we're in right now is. We're restoring these aspects of ourselves. So as we go into the Akashic Records, what do we need to clear around freedom? Final items in this one universe. So final items here that we're clearing right now. 21. And if any insights come in right now for you, like to type them out, please do, because we're all powerful beings here. And if you get something too for this clearing, or if you have a question, please type it in the chat. So what we're going to clear today is, this one likes to come up often, and we don't realize how often it comes up because we kind of stay there. And it's this desire to suffer, you know, and our mind really wants to figure it out, and our emotions are like, pinging all over our body, and we feel dysregulated. But ultimately what we're doing is building capacity, holding more frequency. I was just in a ketamine treatment earlier, and what I love about it is, you know, they put on headphones and they give you music to tune into as you begin to create neuroplasticity from your experiences, from yourself, so that then your mind can open up, so anxiety is not so prominent, that you get out of depression. It's like these beautiful, wonderful gifts that ketamine does. And what I recognized during the experience is, as the songs and sounds were higher frequency, my body was buzzing. And it was literally like, in the ketamine therapy, it was like my light was stretching like this. It was like opening wide into like fuller spectrum, the fuller chord of that sound, right? And that's what's happening to our bodies right now, as we're going into this place where we're suffering, and our minds are stretched, our emotions are stretched. They're like the volumes are turned up really loud, and then not only that, our bodies are like, whoa. Okay. Now, when I think about the Earth, you know, it's like rotating on this axis, literally going through space and time. It's like amazing how we're not falling off the planet, right? Because gravity is really holding us in. Thank you for gravity. It tethers us to the Earth. It's part of one of the laws. So here we are in this wonderful gravitational pull with all that movement, and then the light just beaming down. And so we're like, ugh. And so it's shaking everything up. And, you know, if the planet were to ascend like super fast, we'd blow up. Like how when you descend into the ocean and you're scuba diving, you have to like take it slow so you acclimate. Same thing for when you go up in frequency, you're acclimating. If you went too far, too fast, you're going to like explode because the body can't handle it. Those that have been purifying as well as activating their own self, then they go up quicker. That's why some people have this wisdom beyond, what we can conceive of, because they've been in the mountains hiding out meditating. Basically, that's what they've been doing. And they're there because they've been sitting with themselves. They know themselves. What do we do here? We don't sit with ourselves. We're not free. We're like tethered to a desk, or tethered to a job, we're tethered to obligations and responsibilities, which then how did I get so responsible for so many things? Like, what did I do? How did I get here that I'd lost myself? And that's what happens in a transition sometimes, right? So then we're like suffering over the things that we've created, and we're like, dang, now how do I undo this? Because this is where, I'm just wrapped in the whole experience. Like, how many of you feel that way? You're like wrapped in all of that in your experience. Like, you're just like, wow, how did I get here? Where's my time again? Where's my life? And once you start to create time for yourself and get to know yourself and really start to unravel those knots and cords of the things that you've experienced, then you begin to kind of feel the soul freedom. It's not so tethered into this 3-dimensional space and time, which then has all these thoughts and ideas from the 4th dimension. And we can just unconditionally love ourselves and what we're here to do on the planet. It's pretty fabulous. Valerie says, I feel that movement. Hello, I'm so happy you're here with me today. So, the desire to suffer, we have been acclimating, and we've learned that the suffering that we feel in our mind, in our bodies, and our hearts is normal and natural, right? And yet it's not. Like, we are truly happy, loving, peaceful people. And we can get there by breathing in presence, right? By being in a neutral spot and saying, I'm okay. I just see it all before me, and I get to pick and choose. So let's go ahead and clear that desire to suffer on all levels, layers. I'm gonna have a drink too. Cheers. I love drinking sparkling water. It's so refreshing. My husband got me addicted to it. We buy so many Waterloos. I love it. The only thing though, I have to ask if anyone can tell me this, and thankfully, yep, this one has it. What in the world is natural flavors? No thing on the ingredient list, like all these, wonderful natural things, says natural flavors. What the hell is natural flavors? Help me out here. Okay. What percent is it cleared? Accurate, complete at 100%. Let's now go back to the charts. Anyone have any questions around desire to suffer? We're not going to gaslight ourselves. We're not going to bypass ourselves. We're going to go into everything we've created, the consequences, and begin restoration process, which means you're integrating these pieces, right? You're like acknowledging them. You're welcoming them back home, realizing that these parts of you that might have been in shadow, that might have been separate, have just been lost in the freaking fear system that's been created, and we're bringing them back into alignment. We're showing that there's a stronger way for us that brings more love and joy, and they can come along too. You don't got to stay there. I'm not going to leave you behind. I'm not going to forget you. I'm bringing you with me. Hey, Marks, thank you so much for joining me. So now we're going to go tune into what is next to clear for our wonderful day of freedom. And we're going to a discordant energy. So a lot of times the emotions and energies exist in the 4th dimension because it's that collective consciousness feeling attached to beliefs that get stuck here, right? And it's like a cloud. It just we've been building it up by all that we've been thinking and feeling for so long that it's a haze over us. It's kind of like the haze over LA, right? So what emotion are we going to clear today? Outside left. Greed. Yes. Greed. Oh, I love this one so much. We don't realize how much greed has taken our power and our freedom away. You know, greed has been a place of thinking you're not enough, that you need more, that someone has more, this jealousy energy that then begins to like take in everything. Valerie says, how much added sugar? Zero, thank God. And this is a Waterloo we're talking about here. So as we're in this place where we're like tuning into the things that are around us, like how things got to where, like, I own a business. Of course I want to make money. Of course I want to be able to have some of the things I want to have. And, you know, if it's meant for me, it'll come. And so we're in this place right now, though. It's where it's this bit like these very money making machines, you know, like, did you guys know that a lot of prisons are private and they are money making machines? You know, did you know that a lot of these hospitals, you know, are private, which are money making machines, right? Like, they capitalize on people doing horribly, which then they go to prisons. They capitalize on people being unwell and they go to the hospital, spend lots of money there. There's a lot of these systems, and even like I guess the Federal Reserves, right, where the money is supposed to be held for all these banks, that's private too. Like, who knew, right? Greed is everywhere. But yet when you look around, especially at your stuff, sometimes you're like, damn, I've got a lot of stuff. Like, all of this could literally feed world hunger. You know what I mean? It would be feeding everybody. Everyone be clothed. Everyone be fine. Like, this distribution of wealth and the ways that it's been created is like this never ending loop. And we fucking get stuck there. Each and every one of us. And we operate from survival, because if we don't make the certain amount of money, we're not going to be able to live in a nice home. We're going to live in the ghetto, blah, 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 blah. And so we get on this hamster wheel thing, like we need to make money, when people in different areas that know of this just keep breaking in the dough and doing dumb bullshit that ruin the planet, you know? And I'm just seeing how that system continues to operate, and basically we're not free. And so maybe, just maybe, like, the systems are going to change and shift. You know, I've been hearing about a quantum financial system that's being put into effect, a way for all of us with like the cryptocurrency, what it was going to be, possibly begin to be a way to free many of us, right? And where it's not centralized. And there's a lot of, you know, fear, because we don't understand it. And, you know, people are unwilling to really fully give the real details. There's just scams left and right about so many things right now. So we're in fear. But if you really knew what it was, and you really know what new technologies are, we begin to see that it's going to support us, because now it's the spirit and the science coming together, and we've got to learn to trust certain things that are moving us in the right direction. You know, I didn't trust it. You know, ChatGPT for a really long time. And now it's like my best friend. It helps me understand when I'm trying to read from my marriage and family therapy, so I can decipher the code of the big words in order to get to where I want to go. However, so like, there's things that we're all doing in trial and error, and we thought like, ooh, it would be so cool to add an additive to my can of Coke, right? Ooh, it's going to produce all these different flavors, right? And make it be something that's going to be like, wow, it tastes like cherries. And we're like, that would be so cool. And then we grow up and we're like, damn, that causes cancer. Like, whoops. Let's not do that. And yet now, because it's like this really cheap, and these companies have, you know, built, what's it called? Those, trademarks and all kinds of whatever. Now they're capitalizing on it, which then they're like, we don't want to let go of that kind of money. We're making money off of additives and preservatives and things that make you guys sick. Because now, like, the hospitals are backing us, because, yeah, we can also make pharmacy drugs on top of additives. It's like, what the fuck? Like, there's so much here, and that's where we're learning, like, this greed just kind of filters through, because we've been acting out of scarcity. Like, we didn't think we would be able to share. We don't think we would be able to all be abundant. We didn't think we'd all be okay. and now we're okay. We're making ourselves not okay. There's these two blue aliens on the Facebook reels that I just love, and they talk about money and debt. And they're like, these humans, they made money and now they have to pay themselves more money. And they're like, they didn't have money in the first place. And so it's so funny. Like this is what we're doing to ourselves, especially in the name of greed. So let's calm down that greed energy, you know, because it's there, and it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's just a program that we're all operating from that we're not free from. So let's go ahead and clear that greed, and remember, like, literally, when you think about it, really reflect on it. The things you needed most showed up when you needed it in that time, right? Right. For me, it has happened all the time. When I needed it the most, when I thought I wasn't going to be able to do like rent payment, when I thought I wasn't going to do this, the right answer, the right resource showed up at the right time, or more clients showed up. It's just what happens. There's a different system at play, and that's like your soul system. And your soul system, you come down here to rewrite coding for these different pieces, and you're experiencing them, and you got trapped in the idea of it, and you're like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? When all actually what you're doing is you're freaking activating the code so it shifts the energy around that system, and then it begins to be no more, especially when more and more people all over the world do it, right? Because we're all those light bearers. So amazing. Okay. You're laughing, Valerie. Hi. Okay, so let's go and see now what we need to clear around more freedom. So if you feel that one, did I clear it? I didn't clear it. Oh my God. It's still here. It's strong. It's strong like a bull. So close your eyes and just allow like money to fall from everywhere out your ears. Just think of the abundance of everything, like massive amounts of hot dogs. There's just so much that we produce and make. There's enough for everyone. There's enough for everything. We have enough. We're more than enough. And begin to picture lots of wildflowers just beginning to grow, and the trees rejuvenating and regenerating. So many fruit trees. Everything is regenerating. It is constantly regenerating. Oil's regenerating. Minerals are regenerating. Iron is regenerating. All the metals are regenerating. It's all being regenerated. There's more than enough. Yay, we did it. So in our energy field, that is clear. So now as we are activated, we can, with our codes, we're informing everything around us in the field. So yay, us. Okay, is there anything else to clear around freedom? No. It's saying the only thing you got to do now is have some freaking fun. Wherever you are in this world right now, especially, you know, in the United States with so much political and economic and everything unstable at this moment, I hope you begin to realize like that is rewriting itself. Keep your eyes set on what you prefer, and know that freedom is here. It's always here. We've always been free. You've always been free. We've just been caught in a loop that we were playing, and that game is no longer the game we wish to play. There's a different kind of game, and we're here to write that game. We're not playing those games anymore. So I'm uber super duper excited for each and every one of you, and I'm going to replay this song because I love it so much. George Michael, Freedom. You know, may you have a beautiful and blessed day. Oh, I got to do a mop up. That's right. And I'm going to just close up this session. Thank you, Heavenly Father, Mother Earth, guides, guardian angels, for your love and support and care, especially as we work through these energies of being free. May we feel it in our bones. May we feel it in all aspects of our 9-dimensional selves, and realize the more that we can awaken to that truth, we are free, we are free, we are free, and the truth sets us free. May we all have beautiful and amazing times, and begin to attune and access our gifts so that we can begin to clear the lay of the land within us, and which clears the lay of the land without us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen. Aho, may it be so. Yeah. So let me know about, we have several things coming up. We have the Ascension class, which is all about activating our energy body so that we can step in the 9 dimensions. Then we have the more advanced souls and the embodiment course that are being activated so we can be multidimensional selves. I'm really excited. And we also have Soul Connections coming up next Monday, the 14th, where we tune in as a community and talk about all the shifts that are happening. You're not alone. We're all in this together, and you're not a weirdo. We're all weirdos, and we get to talk about it. So you're free, you're free, you're free. Type it in the chat. I am free, I'm free, I'm free. And let's go, George Mike. Freedom, babies. Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, there is a parade of chickens I come across, so they have gone wild. Thank you, EJ, for joining me. Love, light, and aloha. Bye. If you felt a shift today, this is just the beginning. Join us inside New Paradigm Healing Academy to go deeper into clearing, energy work, and soul remembrance. Subscribe, like, and share this with someone ready to release the old and embody the new. Together, we rise in frequency across all timelines.